Hey everyone, I'm back with RealFlight 9 again, and as you can see, I got out the E-Flite EC-1500 cargo plane here. You can see I'm really going through some thick stuff here. The reason why I got this plane out is I really wanted to fly it again. I gave it a shot the other night. I was really blown away with how much I really enjoyed the airplane. Like I mentioned before, I'm more of a warbird guy, and this is not your typical warbird. It's not a warbird at all. It's not a World War II fighter or bomber or anything like that. This is a cargo plane, a twin-engine cargo plane. And it is way more fun to fly than I ever imagined. I was talking to some of the guys on the RC groups today, and they suggested that I give it a go with some wind here in RealFlight 9. So far, everything's always been at 0 miles per hour, so I cranked the winds up to 10 miles per hour, and they're not a steady wind either. It kind of fluctuates between about 5, and I've seen as high as 12 while I've been watching it here. You can see it kind of tip the airplane back on its tail. And I also picked a field that's pretty rough too, because I kind of look at the EC-1500 here as an airplane that's really versatile, that it can do almost anything. It can fly in some pretty rough environments, such as grass, snow. You can fly it off water. I don't have skis or floats in the simulator, so we're just going to fly off some pretty thick grass. So we're just going to use some takeoff flaps here. Normally I wouldn't even bother using flaps in the wind, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway. After all, this is only a simulator. So let's go ahead and taxi out to our runway here. Here we go. Alright, full throttle. Up in the air we go. Flaps up. Yeah, you can definitely tell the wind does play a factor in here a little bit. You see the airplane buffeting around a little bit. I tell you, this thing is it's crazy how quick this thing is. I mean, you look at a twin-engine cargo plane, you would never believe that it would fly as powerful as it does. Yeah, look at that. You can see the wind taking the airplane around. Had a pretty good crab angle there, and it's bouncing around. Yeah, I would say that for the first flight of this airplane, the first flight with the airplane with any wind involved, and also the first time I've really added wind in the simulator, it definitely plays a factor in the airplane, and I tell you, it handles it quite well. Obviously, I don't know if they have AS3X or anything programmed in, and hey, look at that crab angle right there. Woo! Here we go. Yeah, I think this is, like I mentioned before in my previous video, this is an airplane that if somebody would have asked me if I wanted, I would have been questioning. I'm like, well, no, it's not a World War II fighter or bomber. Why do I want it? And then you see more pictures of it, and then you look at some flight videos, and then you go out and you try this thing in RealFlight 9, you're thinking, holy crap, I kind of like this thing. It's very cool. I'm not going to lie. I have really decided that I've liked this airplane a lot, and I think I got to get one for my hangar, and I think this would make a fantastic all-weather capable airplane. Michigan winter starts. We could look at 2 inches of snow coming tomorrow. Woo! Look at that. So you get busy talking instead of busy flying, and you almost take out a tree. But this thing has so much power, so much capability to it. I had no trouble pulling out of that tree. This thing is a lot of fun. Like I mentioned, so winter starts tomorrow. Basically in Michigan, we're going to get 2 inches of snow. And I can't think of a better airplane to fly around the winter than this, especially in these bright Coast Guard colors on here. The airplane just wears them so well. So let's just go ahead and let's bring it down here for a nice pass. Go. Let's bring it on in. I tell you, this thing is a lot of fun. And I would say that the simulator definitely played a role in me really falling in love with this airplane. It really changed my opinion on it. This thing is a lot of fun. And it looks pretty cool in the air too. I know there are some people who complain about having fixed landing gear, and I'm like, man, I don't see this being an issue at all. I think this thing looks pretty cool. And I think it's gonna look really cool with some skis on it too. Boy, this airplane really, really impresses me. I think if the real one flies anything like the simulator one does, I think E-Flite has another winner on their hands here with this one. This is an outstanding plane, so it sure gets away with you in a hurry. This thing has got way more power than you would expect it to have. All right. I'm gonna kind of snakes through some trees here. We're gonna do a bring it on in, nice and slow. You see the wind really taking it around. Well, that was not a that was not a great landing, you know that. But I tell you, if you fly in a lot of wind, that's not an uncommon experience. I've had it happen a few times where the airplane almost seems to hang up in the air and comes down like that. But hey, the plane landed just fine. I'm going to take a couple more flights on this thing because I tell you what, I am really starting to like it. I might turn the wind down a little bit. Normally, this 10 mile an hour wind is about my limit of where I feel comfortable at. Anyway, I usually, depending on what airplane I have, I tend not to fly when it's this windy out. I just don't enjoy the wind very much. But I can try it here in the simulator and I can get used to it, and that gives me the confidence to fly it in real life with some more wind. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the video off and just spend some time flying the airplane rather than having to talk and film it. So if you guys got any questions on anything, of course, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them.